guys, sorry for the lack of trench coat in this particular video for the collaboration, but it's really warm out today, considering that winter is over, and I don't feel like getting a heat stroke from the sheer amount of boiling of my blood that I am sure Pratt is going to cause. So without further ado, let's dive into this pile of turds head first.
How pathetic are the globe proponents?
Well, what a surprise. Another flat earther who thinks it's a good idea to start talking utter nonsense while operating a vehicle that requires undivided attention. Pratt, don't you think your nonsense does enough damage already? You really find it necessary to just do it while operating 2 tons of steel and potentially hurting other people who have nothing to do with your nonsense?
That once again, I mean, it's not really their fault. They're the idiots that tried to take on the task.
Who have taken an insurmountable amount of time to just try to beat some sense into a dead horse? Wait, that's a little insensitive to the dead horses, because at some point they actually had a functioning brain. Something you probably can't even grasp the concept of.
Of proving a lie, proving a negative.
I don't seem to know in the slightest clue what the hell I'm talking about. Arr, arr, arr. Pratt, we don't prove negatives. The globe has been proven with positive evidence. All you seem to like to do is prove negatives. That's your entire pagan channel. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, no need for me. That's all, folks. I'm getting a coffee.
Proving what they can't prove.
Oh, look! Now he's smoking! Pratt, please go back to making your videos in your garage or your basement or wherever it is, instead of operating a machine that I'm assuming you think is run on the devil's piss. The simple fact that you are operating a machine that could turn any poor pedestrian that has nothing to do with your stupidity into paste just irks my freaking soul.
And when you take on such an idiotic task, the only thing you're left with is propaganda. And so as we demonstrate time and time and time and time and time and time and time
that I still don't seem to know what I am doing. Again, your channel summed up in that one little quote. I'm sorry that I have to interject so much here, guys, but I'll stop when Pratt stops being a Pratt. But given that's in his name, unlikely.
Again, with water at rest from the level of a shot glass to a lake to the ocean, water at rest has never, ever been shown with a physical demonstration to be anything other than level.
Freaking finally! Now that the other rhetoric is out of the way, let's get to the meat. First, water being level does not mean flat. Liquids conform to forces acting on them. In this case, the force of gravity is causing very large bodies of water to stay on the surface of a globe. Hold on. What was that you were saying about proving a negative, Mr. Pratt?
Yet these fucking scientism.
Oh, that's original. Like I haven't heard that one before. Ah, monkey see, monkey do. Wait a minute. I think we're actually seeing history in the making here, folks. Not only are we seeing documentation of the last known member of a species that is a distant primordial cousin of humans, but we're probably also seeing the documentation of why they went extinct. Well done, Pratt. Your Darwin Award is waiting for you. In hell.
Priests, globogandists will insist math theoretical equations.
Oh, that's original. Like I haven't heard that one before. Monkey see, monkey do. Wait a minute. I think we're actually seeing history in the making here, folks. Not only are we seeing documentation of the last known member of a species that is a distant primordial cousin of humans, but we're probably also seeing the documentation of why they went extinct. Well done, Pratt. Your Darwin Award is waiting for you. In hell.
Day after day after day, prove the impossible. Make the impossible possible. We can never, under any conditions, get water to conform to the exterior of a shape.
And there we go with the negatives. There we are, folks. We are dealing with the epitome of quackspiracy, critical thinking, and hypocrisy.
And sit there at rest without surface tension or static force. I mean, for years we've had these idiots, take balloons and other things under a faucet with a little stream.
And here comes the repetitive trash. What Pratt is trying to ask for to be done here on Earth cannot be done simply because, due to the sheer size of our planet, the Earth is the far, 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 far more dominant gravitational body than a damned balloon. Honest to God. However, we do have footage of a on the space station where water in a zero-G environment will actually take the form of a sphere. How's about that? Your little bits of fun facts from the constable himself. I'm sure Ragical won't mind showing a little clip of that. Will he?
Water. They'll take a fucking balloon next to it, so it's influenced by static force, which is actually pulling the water away from going straight down, so it's actually defeating gravity.
What the actual?
And they try to use that idiotic bullshit. They try to use static force, which is probably truly one of the weakest forces.
I don't know what in the ever-living actual Hail Mary, Huckleberry, Hillbilly hell this guy is on about. But this is what I'm going to say before I just cut out all the parts where he's just crying like a little bubble-blowing baby. While operating a motorized vehicle of all times, static force is basically static friction, or an object's resistance to move. And yes, it is a weak force, but it is not the force that's keeping all the bodies of water on the planet. Gravity is still a thing, and you're still trying to prove a negative. What a hypocritical little runt you really are, Pratt. The other 42 seconds is him devolving into a toddler and slamming his hands down, going on and on about his grievances. Again, while freaking driving. But this is all I'm going to say to you, Pratt. 1, you are a grown man. How in the ever-living hell have you been able to make it to biological adulthood and get gray in your hair with this kind of attitude? Second, I looked up the actual formula for static force. Fs is greater than or equal to Psn. Fs is the force of static friction, Ps is the coefficient of the static force, N is the normal force. That normal force, you guessed it, is the force of gravity. That took me a few seconds of Googling, Pratt. I would go on. Really I would, but this is not my channel. I'll leave it to the others, and back to you, Ragical.